Thanks for joining us, Iryna. INREV have just published new quarterly data for Germany. What are the key takeaways?
Yes, we just released our INREV Q3 German Vehicles Index, and it really supports the earlier discussion that the German story is about stable performance. So the Q3 results have been unchanged since Q2 at 0.83%. But in fact, if you look at the results on a 12 monthly rolling basis, that's just 12 basis points above the long-term average annual return of 4%.
And this data focuses on the specific German vehicles. Are you seeing any differences in terms of strategy or performance?
Yeah, I think it's always good to unpick and understand where the outperformance comes from. And I think it's no surprise that the Spezialfonds sector continued to drive the performance of the overall index as well. It delivered 1.24% this quarter versus 0.59% for the Publikumsfonds, which are more tailored to retail investors and a little bit less diverse in their strategies. With the Spezialfonds really targeting institutional investors, more tailored strategies, and they have been outperforming pretty much consistently since 2014, 2015. And actually, if you look at the last 12 months running total, they have significantly outperformed the Publikumsfonds with 6.54% versus the 2.76%. So I guess no surprises there, but it's a clear trend.
There's been a lot of discussion around whether investors are more domestic oriented at the moment. What are the key themes that you're picking up from the research?
That's a really good question there, Richard. Of course, this is a very large, substantial index consisting of 202 vehicles with the total global asset value of more than 175 billion euros. And it's very interesting to dissect, particularly looking at the geography. And what we have noted is those funds where their single country strategy is Germany have delivered a significant outperformance this quarter, 1.74%. That's more than double for those vehicles whose strategies have been targeting Europe, excluding Germany. So I think that says a lot. And actually, that confirms the story we were conveying last week when INREV launched our European quarterly fund index, where Germany really led the performance in Europe. And in fact, if I dive in a little bit more and look at the global strategies of the German vehicles, that's where the weaker performance tended to be, particularly, I think, driven by the fact that there's quite notable allocations to Asia Pacific, the US, but also the UK.
And obviously the quarterly nature of the index allows you to see the trajectory of the markets over time. Does this tell you anything about where you expect to see the Q4 data?
I think the trajectory has been clear so far. There was quite a notable correction in Q2 in many parts of the market or segments of the market. We're now coming back to stable performance. I suspect that the stronger parts of the market, like the Spezialfonds, like some of the more quality German segments or the residential industrial logistics segments, will continue to have a stable performance. But it's not until really we see the Q4 data that we have that clarity on the direction of travel in 2021.
Interesting to see that outperformance from Germany. And I look forward to tracking the next set of quarterly numbers. Thank you, Iryna.
Likewise. Thank you, Richard.